everyone, my name is Joe and welcome to the Vader Player channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through a bit of a deck tech from a recent planetary qualifier I participated at. It was at Alpha Games, fantastic run event, and I came 11th out of 23 playing Darth Vader, of course, as you can tell by the name of the channel, and Data Vault, quite a common pairing at the moment. And it actually went quite well. I'm surprised as to how well I did. I was not expecting to go in and winning 3 of my 5 rounds. It was a smaller PQ, only 23 players, but it was a fantastic run event. I think everyone there had a great time. So we'll take you through my results first before I go through my deck tech. So I started off the day with an 0-2 loss to a CAD green with Data Vault as well. So that was a tough loss. Neither game was really close. He blew me out both games. A lot of ping damage and a lot of just negating what I had on the board. Game 2 was against the Quinlan Red, which I 2-0'd. I beat him. I think if it weren't for Data Vault, I would have lost every single game I played bar 1, and I beat him 2-0. Third game was an Anakin Blue, which again with Colossus just blew me away. Round 4 was Grand Inquisitor Yellow, which actually took a game from me, but I won 2-1 in that round. That was a really tough game. I got very lucky with some of the results there. And then the final round was another Quinlan Red, which I 2-0'd, thanks to a great play, which we'll bring up in a moment. So basically we're going to bring up the deck tech, show you the cards in the deck, and I'd like to get feedback from anyone who also runs Darth Vader, see if there's anything you think I could improve on in this deck. So starting off, we have 3 First Order Stormtroopers. I see a lot of people still playing Death Star Stormtroopers, which I can't fault. It's a great card. I actually love it on turn 1, but I find that the ping damages often negate the point of playing those Death Star Stormtroopers. So I thought First Order Stormtrooper, you get that 2-1, only 1 less power, but the on attack deal 1 indirect damage to a player and when defeated. Next up, we have probably my MVP from the planetary qualifier, Salacious Crumb. We have this lovely foil in the middle. Worked absolutely insane for me in the PQ. I got my final opponent with Quinlan Tarkintown down to 22 damage on his base, and I had 31 damage, I believe. My only available unit was Salacious Crumb, and I managed to put OB, Overwhelming Barrage, on the Salacious Crumb to hit base for 3 and win the game. My opponent couldn't believe it, a 3-5 Salacious Crumb, dealing 3 to his exhausted Han Solo. All he could do was smuggle out Cassian, but I would have hit the base for 3. That was a fantastic result in the very last game of the day, which took me to, I believe, 6 and 5 in games of the day. Next up, Colonel Yularen. Again, Yularen coupled with Salacious Crumb is a really nice play if you're playing below curve. Yularen allows you to heal up to 1 damage from your base when you play a green unit, including himself. A 2-3 body isn't bad either. If you have a little bit of damage on turn 1, it's a great drop. If not, I don't mind it on turn 2 with the Salacious Crumb to heal up 2 or 3 damage. Now we have the Phase 3 Dark Trooper. It's a 3-cost 3/3 Sentinel with when combat damage is dealt to this unit, give an experience token to this unit. It's a big body to get through early in the game, and it can be an annoyance later in the game when you bring out some of your big units that allow you to draw out cards. Staple of any command villain deck, obviously the Super Laser Tech. We're trying to ramp up quickly to this Vader because he's a big boy. Super Laser Tech comes in very handy, and it's a very, very good card. Then we have 2 copies of Fifth Brother. Again, this card was great, pinging damage at an enemy unit and then 1 at itself to give it 3 damage on its first attack, and taking an opponent with it after attacking, or you hit the base and just ping one of their units. This next card was actually in my sideboard for the event, but every single game, bar game 1 of each round, I sideboarded it in. That's Darth Maul, the legendary unit from Twilight of the Republic. We have 1 foil and 2 regular. It's a fantastic unit. It's been in this deck since I had ECL. I switched out ECL for Data Vault for the extra 8 health. Darth Maul is just a fantastic unit for taking out 2 units at once, or baiting your opponent into making an attack on a high powered unit that they need to get rid of. This next one is probably one of my favourites, probably my favourite from Jump to Lightspeed, and it's the main legendary I've pulled so many times, and it's Darth Vader. I packed these two of them, including the foil, at my pre-release event at Shuffle in Berry. No one could believe it. I packed another one on opening day, and then I have one in my collection. Darth Vader is a 6-cost 7/7 ground unit with piloting for 3, +3/+3 when he's an upgrade on a vehicle unit. Attached unit gains on attack, you may deal 1 damage to a unit. If the unit is defeated this way, you may deal 1 damage to a unit or base. And here we have my 3 hyperspace Darth Vader Spark of Rebellion units. 7-cost 5/7 with ambush. When played, search the top 10 cards of your deck for any number of villainy units with a combined cost of 3 or less, and play each of them for free. This card is so good. It's still so good. Even with a slightly lower power of 5, it can take out a smaller unit or a damage leader. This unit is so good, especially if you can get it to survive. Even if you're not ambushing with it when you're playing a particularly space-heavy deck, this unit can sometimes bring out a Black Sun Starfighter as a sentinel that can really help you out in the space arena. Count Dooku is our penultimate ground unit, I believe, and he came very much in the clutch in a few games, allowing me to exploit out up to 2 units as an 8-cost 6/6 with exploit 2, overwhelm. And when played, for each unit you exploited while playing this card, you may deal damage to an enemy unit equal to the power of the exploited unit. So in a couple of games I managed to exploit out a Super Laser Tech and a Salacious Crumb. In one game I managed to exploit out a Ruthless Raider to deal 2 damage to a unit and to the base, which put me in real good stead. Count Dooku is a fantastic card. If you can get it on turn 3 with a 4-drop, it's even better and gets you ahead in the game with a 6/6 unit. Just the 1 copy of Crate Dragon because it's all I have and it's a very expensive unit. I packed this in Colchester. It's a fantastic card. Don't often get it down. Managed to get it down once at the PQ, but in stall showdowns that I've played, when I've got this down, it's a real game wrecker. 9-cost 10/10 with overwhelm. When an opponent plays a card, you may deal damage equal to their card's cost to their base or a ground unit they control. Now onto our space units. We have Kylo's TIE Interceptor, 2-cost 3/2 with action. If this unit was discarded from your hand or deck this phase, play it from your discard pile, paying its cost. Now with this card being at the higher end of price, especially for Shadows of the Galaxy cards, you can substitute it out for a mercenary gunship, but you do risk that action, pay for, take control of this unit. Any player may use this ability. This card a lot of people have in their sideboards is disabling Fang Fights. We have this lovely hyperspace foil and a hyperspace version as well. When played, you may defeat and upgrade. Really good for those pilot decks. I found it really useful against some of the Vader pilot yellow decks. Comes in on Vader's turn, takes him out, and you still have some resources to use up. Another ship that does need a pilot, however, is Von Rig's TIE Interceptor. Now this card works particularly well with the Darth Vader pilot, like I said earlier, because once you attach Darth Vader, you get all of these extra bonuses. Well, this unit has 4 or more power, it gains overwhelm, while this unit has 6 or more power, it gains raid 1. You put Darth Vader on it, it's an overwhelm raid 1, 6/7. And you get to ping damage at another unit and possibly do up to 8 damage on a base. Penultimate space unit for this deck is Ruthless Raider. Again, with this beautiful hyperfoil I packed early in my time in the game. This card is just so good, dropping it on 6. When played, when defeated, deal 2 damage to an enemy base and 2 damage to an enemy unit. Comes in clutch so often. 4/6 power is pretty good for 6. And the when played and when defeated just make this card one of the best space units in aggression villainy in the game. Another unit people put in the sideboard or run one of is Devastator. I like to force throw a Devastator, possibly getting it back with a Palpatine's Return or dealing 10 damage to something, and occasionally getting out a Devastator with Sentinel and Overwhelm with the when played. You may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of resources you control. On to the events now, and first off, we have Force Throw, one of the best events in the game at the moment with all the Force synergies coming. Choose a player, that player discards a card from their hand. Then if you control a Force unit, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the cost of the discarded card. For 1 resource, this card is ridiculous. It's a fantastic card, and with Legends of the Force coming, it's only going to get better, and it's going to soar in value. Have 3 timely interventions in this deck. It's such a good card. You get that ambush bonus, bringing out units, maybe a turn below curve, but overall a really good card. And in this deck, without ECL now, it's king. Now we have 3 resupplies. bit slow in my opinion, so I don't often play resupply. I'd rather play something like a Super Laser Technician. Another card that came in through the sideboard is Open Fire. Deal 4 damage to a unit for 3 resources. Absolutely smoked the Millennium Falcon with this a few times. Probably the best offensive card in the deck. Overwhelming Barrage, 5 cost event with give a friendly unit +2/+2 for the phase. Then it deals damage equal to its power divided as you choose among any number of other units. This card is fantastic. Like I said, getting it on my Salacious Crumb in that final game and hitting the base for 3 to exactly 25 on Tarkin Town. This card came in the clutch so many times for me. The final event in this deck is Palpatine's Return. Playing this card and bringing back a Vader from the discard pile, or bringing back a Dooku, or even a Ruthless Raider is fantastic. Finally in this deck we have 3 copies of Fallen Lightsaber, recast +3/+3, attached to a non-vehicle unit. If the attached unit is a force unit, it gains on attack, deal 1 damage to each ground unit the defending player controls. Now onto my sideboard. Every card in here is a 2 of copy, and as you can see at the top we start off with Confiscate, defeat and upgrade for 1 cost. This is just for those pesky pilot decks that are coming up at the moment all over the place with Jump to Light Speed, and the experience tokens that are going to be coming with Revan and Obi-Wan Kenobi in Set 5 Legends of the Force. Next we have Force Choke, 2 cost. If you control a Force unit, this event costs 1 less to play. Deal 5 damage to a non-vehicle unit, that unit's controller draws a card. But with the non-vehicle, this is why it's in the sideboard, because a lot of decks at the moment are running space units. Third here we have the Black Sun Starfighter, 3 cost 3/2 Sentinel. Next up we have Ruch, who's a 5 cost 3/6 Imperial with shielded. When this unit deals combat damage to a non-leader unit while attacking, defeat that unit. It's Death Touch. Really good for taking down something like a Reinforcement Walker, which is the final card in the sideboard. 8 cost 6/9 Vehicle Walker. When played on attack, look at the top card of your deck, either draw that card or discard it and heal 3 damage from your base. So that is my deck tech for the Alpha PQ that I went to just last weekend. That was on the 10th of May. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you do, please give a like, leave a comment, and follow my Instagram @TheVaderPlayer, or subscribe on YouTube @TheVaderPlayer.